Hi guys, back again, Mr. Cox, Coco, Lulu, I don't remember. Your Bradley, take it away.
Okay, so here's what happened. Okay, I've been a school teacher for 20 years. 18 years ago, there's a boy named Josh, because of course it was Josh. And he's a successful engineer now, which I hate. And so one day, he raises his hand, and he said, I don't know why, out of the blue, he said, Mr. Cox, you be good out there. He said, Mr. Cox, do you like the vegetable corn? Do you like to eat corn? I said, no, I don't like to eat corn. And so then he sat there and talked about nothing but corn for so long. And then his friends started to talk about corn, and they would say words like corntastic and good corning, Mr. Cox, things like that so much. So guess what? Okay, I teach them how to use Photoshop. And one time, there's a girl, I got a picture to show. So there's this one girl, she took a picture of me and she replaced my head with an ear of corn and typed out corn on the cocks. Well, that's stupid. Okay, and so then she was so smart, but that project is a poor decision making. And then they made so many projects. And one morning I walked up onto the doormat of my house where I live with my family, and on the doormat there's an ear of corn on my doormat, and there's a message, and it said, this is just the beginning. How do they know where I live? Morning after morning, so many times they would put a can of corn on my doormat, they'd put an ear of corn, they would put it in my mailbox, they would draw corn with chalk on my driveway. So many things. They would, one time, I was at a grocery store, one thing, I just wanted two things. I wanted Cocoa Puffs and peace. And I was checking out with my Cocoa Puffs, and guess what? The girl at the grocery store, her phone rang. Did you know they have phones at their stations?
No, wait,
they do, yeah. So her phone rings, and she looked at me, and she just kind of nodded her head, and then she hung up. She said, I think you forgot your corn. Who called you just now? Who is calling you? One time for my birthday, guess what? On my birthday, they brought me a whole bag of Creamfield donuts. You know Creamfield donuts? They brought me some, and they said, we won't say the C word all day long. But guess what? I started to eat a Creamfield donut, and they filled it with cream corn. How does that happen? They figured out, the teenagers did. One time I was at a pool with my family. Okay, it was a neighborhood pool. So a big old neighborhood, but there were 6 people in that pool. Me, 2 of my children, and 3 strangers I had never seen in my life. And across the pool, one of the strangers was like, corn, who are you? Why is this a one-word conversation with a stranger? Please stop interrupting when I'm doing an important thing right now. So one time I was eating a meal for my anniversary with my wife, and I had a printed menu, like an actual printed menu from a high up restaurant, and it says, happy anniversary to Corn and Karen. Have a wonderful evening. Who is the authority figure who has the capacity to make something like this happen? There's so many things. One time they spent good money to buy me a costume that looked like corn. Pretty good money. And then, okay, did they draw a picture of me in it? Yes, they did. Did they also? Here's my Pookie Bear. Look at this. What is sweet Pookie Bear? Okay, so then my children came to this high school, and the teenagers told my children about the corn thing, and then my children, when I'm not paying attention, they get little giblets of corn, and they put it down in my Coca-Cola, and then there's little giblets of corn fading down. One time, I reached down in my pocket at school, and there were giblets of corn in my pocket. How did they get there? Some teenager did something. They just were so sneaky. Also, one time they made T-shirts. They made T-shirts and they wore them, and they said Corn Pappy on them. There's so many things. One time, instead of giving me gifts, they give other school teachers, they'll give them gift cards. Well, I like Applebee's too, but they give me like a corn mug, or they'll give me so many corn-related things, corn candle things, or the corn top, or other things like that. Okay, I'm going to run to the restroom for that. Okay, so no, you look like a child. Really? Destroyed. That's what you say when you. So, we're just making a silly thing. Okay.
Making a silly thing.
You're my Buki.
Everything is a silly thing.
All right.
You, right?
Okay,
Like
I gotta go.
I won this, right? It's over.